In a quiet, peaceful town, Mr. Collins, a successful businessman, had two beautiful children. His wife had passed away years ago, and it had been tough managing both his career and raising them alone. Desperate for help, he hired a nanny named Clara, who had come highly recommended from a distant relative. She seemed like a godsend, gracious, patient, and loving towards the children. Little did Mr. Collins know, Clara harbored a dark, twisted secret. From the moment Clara stepped foot into Mr. Collins's house, she put on the perfect act. She showered the children with kindness, always there when they needed her, reading them bedtime stories and keeping the house spotless. Mr. Collins was relieved, finally able to focus on his business without worrying about his kids' well-being. But as the weeks passed, Clara's obsession with him grew deeper, darker. She began to make advances on Mr. Collins' casual touches, lingering glances, even a few suggestive comments. Mr. Collins, being a man of strong principles, politely declined her advances, even making it clear that he had no interest in a romantic relationship. But Clara, scorned and angry, would not let go. She felt humiliated, and the pit of her twisted mind, revenge, began to fester. Clara's first act of vengeance was to steal. She began by taking small, precious items, family heirlooms, jewelry, expensive gadgets, anything she could sell without raising suspicion. But as her greed grew, she took bigger items, selling them off in the black market to fund her increasingly reckless behavior. Mr. Collins remained oblivious, focused on work and trusting Clara to care for his children. The next step in her dark plan was even more sinister. One evening, after the children had gone to bed, Clara slipped into Mr. Collins' beloved daughter's room. The young girl, a vibrant and cheerful soul, had always adored Clara, but the nanny's intentions were far from innocent. Consumed by her obsession and rage, Clara saw only one way to make Mr. Collins suffer, by taking away the one thing he loved most. She smothered the innocent child in her sleep, ensuring no noise would be heard. When Mr. Collins found out the next morning, he was devastated. He blamed himself for not noticing the subtle changes in Clara's behavior. The once kind-hearted nanny, who had become increasingly possessive and cold, was now a stranger to him. But Clara's web of lies was about to unravel. The children's disappearance had caught the attention of the police, and the authorities were quick to investigate the crime scene. Clara tried to cover her tracks, but there were too many clues. Her fingerprints on the stolen items, a witness who had seen her sell them, and the faint smell of something unexplainable on the daughter's blanket. In a final, desperate attempt to escape, Clara tried to flee the country, but it was too late. The police caught up with her before she could get far. The once trusted nanny was arrested, charged with murder, theft, and fraud. Mr. Collins's world, shattered by the loss of his daughter and the betrayal of the woman he had trusted, was now a living nightmare. The courtroom was filled with tension as Clara was sentenced for the brutal murder of Mr. Collins' daughter. As she was led away in handcuffs, a cold smirk crossed her face. She had taken everything from Mr. Collins, but one thing she couldn't steal was justice. Though Clara's reign of terror had come to an end, the scars she left behind would never heal. Mr. Collins, devastated but determined, vowed never to trust anyone again. He would carry the memory of his daughter with him always, her laughter, her kindness, and the warmth she brought into his life, all taken away by a wicked soul masquerading as a caregiver. And as for Clara, she would spend the rest of her life in a dark cell, knowing that in the end, her thirst for revenge had been her undoing. The Wicked Nanny's tale would be remembered, a chilling reminder of how envy and obsession can lead to unspeakable horrors.